Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to go through a day of eating on a high calorie day. Today is also my leg day with Andy. This is the official first week back training and also our first week back building. So I am officially going into a slight calorie surplus, and today's calories are around 2,500 calories. So I'm gonna show you guys what I'm gonna eat for breakfast first, and then we're gonna head off to the gym. So meal one, I'm doing 200 grams of egg whites, 60 grams cream of rice. I'm also gonna add a half scoop of whey protein to that and 200 grams of blueberries. Roughly 40 grams of protein, 73 carbs, 2 grams of fats, super low fat pre-workouts. But I am following a meal plan for the most part. My coach and I have already discussed food swaps that are appropriate. So I just asked him like, hey, can I do swap this for that? Generally speaking, I am a creature of habits. I love my breakfast. You guys know I love my cream of rice. I stick with a lot of the same core ingredients and core meals most of the time, and then swap things here and there. So it works really well for me because I'm extremely busy. I'm on my computer a lot, consulting with new clients, talking to clients, updating programs. So taking this thinking part out of my day is really important. When I get up in the morning, I'm pretty diligent about my routine. So first things first, I always drink 1 liter. If you do not do this, I highly encourage you to do this before I even have my coffee. I have noticed significant changes in my energy since I've been doing that. It just makes such a difference. If you are a coffee drinker, I have 0 caffeine crash. So 1 liter before doing that, then I have my coffee, then it's breakfast. I'm gonna have another liter because today's leg day. I'm gonna have another liter before I hit the gym. Make sure we're super hydrated and ready for this workout because it is build season, which means we're gonna be pushing in these workouts. I'll show you guys what I prepped for my intro workouts. So 1 liter when I get up, 1 liter with breakfast before the gym, and then this is gonna be the liter that I drink while I train. So what I put in here, you can get one of these little guys on Amazon, super helpful. I'm going to put glutamine, and this is a 10-gram scooper, 10-gram servings at a time. Going right in here. This is flavorless and odorless, so you really can mix it with anything. I'm doing my creatine, and this is a 5-gram scoop. I'm gonna add that, let that go inside. A scoop of EAAs. So this is the only thing that's going in here that's actually flavored. What flavor is this? Rainbow candy, whatever that tastes like. Something fruity, I'm sure. And then, really important ingredients. This is my intro workout. This is also carbohydrates. Ooh, this is exciting. I get 2 scoops, 50 grams. All right, so 2 scoops of this guy. It's gonna go right in. So this is literally powdered carbohydrates. It is basically immediately taken up by your system when you're training. So I sip on this, you don't wanna chug it. This is not something I chug. So voila, here's 50 grams of carbs. Creatine, glutamine, EAAs, all in one nice little bottle. I'll probably drink the whole thing halfway through the workout and then refill this again. So we're gonna need a lot of water in today. Super important for your muscles, energy, your overall well-being. This is almost done. All right, so my cream of rice, this is 60 grams cream of rice, just 100 grams blueberries. Couldn't fit them all in. Lots of blueberries. Get your antioxidants, voila. So blueberries are super low in calorie, but they're also really high in fiber. If you're somebody who has trouble going, extra blueberries, you will not have a problem. I also salt this, so I put a 1/4 teaspoon of salt on my cream of rice and also my egg whites. So this is gonna be meal 1, quite heavy for a lot of food. I gotta eat that real quick. We gotta get out of here in 20 minutes, so I'll see you guys at the gym.
Two, 3, 4, 8, 9, 14. One more. Okay, give me 5 speed. As many, I don't care if it's 2 inches. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. 1, 2, 10, 5.
I can't hold it any longer.
Okay, go. 5, 4, 3. I got rest for you. 2 and 1. Good. Swap.
Ow.
10, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So we're at Fit Club today. We're training. I actually earlier said I would train legs because I didn't know what we're going to train today. Last time we said glutes, ended up being quads.
Quads and glutes, but okay.
He changed the goal on me. So today we're training glutes and hams. And like I said, I am in a more of a build right now.
Just starting that.
Starting a build. Calories are up higher today, but I thought we could talk a little bit about mistakes that women make when building. One of the things that I've been talking a lot about on my Instagram is how many things that women think that they're doing right, but they're not doing right. One of the things is not lifting intensely enough, so not really taking sets to near failure and what that looks like. Andy, I know you train a lot of women in person, and I think there's a stat that something like 50 to 60% undershoot their actual weight that they can lift. Heavy you can go or how intense you can go in a set. You don't have to go super heavy, but you do have to be taking sets to near failure. So what other mistakes do you think people make?
Women make during builds?
Yeah.
Going straight from a deficit, from a fat loss stage to a build stage and bypassing the maintenance phase.
So deficit calories and then like way overeating.
Yes. I see a lot of coaches, it's either like, it's 0 to 100 on both sides. You're cutting, plumbing you into a 500 calorie deficit. Okay, you're bulking, let's jump you into 400, 500, 600 calorie surplus. And that's how you're gonna get that yo-yo. One, you're not gonna prepare your metabolism for that amount of food after being in such a deficit, and vice versa. So going from a deficit and just slowly building up your calories, that's, I think, the common mistake is, okay, I'm done cutting, bring in the cheat meals, bring in the high calories, let's get strong. And you need to reverse properly and take your build as serious as your cut. And now when you get higher up in the build, that's fine, but that transition from the deficit to maintenance phase to build phase is very crucial, and you just need to take it slowly, slow and steady increases.
Yeah. And so it's mistakes that women are making when building. So we talked about not lifting enough weight or not going intense enough in the training. Do you think the average person trains heavy enough? There's so many like layers, right? There's all the layers on the nutrition side and all the layers on the training side.
It's so hard.
And then lifestyle things. I mean, you're in a gym all day long. Do you think that the average person even trains hard enough to then justify calories for a build?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. So it's not just a matter of how heavy they're lifting, because if you tell somebody to go heavy,
right,
you see their videos.
Intensity.
Going heavy, and then the intensity one, and then the form too. Like, are they going heavy, but are they sacrificing like 3-4 inches of range?
Usually, yes.
Of motion?
Yeah.
It's usually always the
case.
I mean, I even see it with my clients, and they come up to me, they're like, Andy, I just shoulder pressed like 50 pounds, and I see it, and I'm like, one, it's only for 3 reps, so we're really not.
And the range was like right here.
Yeah, and it's just like, okay, so yeah, you're getting stronger, but especially when you get after your late 20s, now you're more susceptible for injury too, so you have to be cautious of that. 3-rep maxes are kind of like...
So it's not the weight that you use, it's intensity and form.
It's intensity and form, and honestly, like time under tension.
Yeah.
You can take something heavy and still create tension on that muscle for like 30 to 40 seconds, like you're gonna build muscle.
Yeah.
For sure. But if you're going heavy, you're like locking out your elbows and you're taking tension off the shoulders, you're taking tension off the chest, or locking out your knees, which there's nothing bad about locking out your knees, I'm not saying that, but like if you're deliberately locking out your knees just to take tension off your quad,
you're resting.
Then you're resting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can see at the end of a set where you want to squeeze out those last 2 reps, then you can rest at the top. But I see most clients, they're so focused on the number of, whether it's the number of reps or number of weight, that they just avoid being uncomfortable and take their time in between reps. So they're squatting, locking out their knees, pausing for a minute, going down, locking out the knees, pausing for a second, going down. Like all that time is tension off the desired muscle group that you're trying to work. So if the stimulus is there and the tension on the tissue is there, that's where you can see increases in food. I always notice that the clients that I train in person can handle way more food in the off season than some of my just online clients, where they're just going through a workout program and they're not sending me videos to check their form and check everything like that. I notice they're not able to handle nearly as many calories.
Yeah, bringing up the intensity. You know how Jen and I train when we're by ourselves. So it's like, you know, a client trains intensely when they're by themselves. then you know that they can handle more food. So simply eating more food is not going to make you build muscle, right? You're probably going to gain fat if you're not training intensely enough. And if you're just training intensely but then not feeding,
Yep.
a lot of women are scared of eating more food, then you're also not going to build muscle.
And you'll see trends. Like if you were in a deep deficit and you were on a trajectory of losing weight each week, and then you're slowly bumping up the calories, let's say for an example, everybody's body's different. Say example every week, or based on progress photos, you're upping the calories, 50 to 100 each week. And you'll see if they're starting to get even hungrier and you even see the weight is maintaining or dropping, they're probably training pretty hard. If right away you add like 50 to 100 calories and their weight's spiking up, they're probably just not putting the effort in the gym, or they're eating something off plan.
We do talk a lot with our online clients about this, about intensity. I have a client right now, she's 59 years old, she's 5'7", 120 pounds thin. I've been building her up. She's actually eating more food than me right now. Yeah. Her training days are over 2,400 calories, 350 grams of carbs. That's been over several months, by the way, to get her up that high. But the first time I bumped her to 350, she was like, oh my God. And then after 3 days, she was a little bit full, her weight spiked up, she got scared. And I was like, just be patient. And her weight dropped right back down. And she's like, I'm so hungry. So I know she's pushing in the gym, and she's 59 years old.
Yep.
Amazing. But anyway, we'll do this set. You can kind of talk about some of the technique. Let's go till it hurts.
Yep, here we go. All right, so just an example of tension. You see the way Vic, when she closes her legs, she's not, if you look at the weight stack right here, it's not actually touching the other weight, okay? So she's not ever setting it down, meaning she's never taking tension off her glute medius, okay? So even though she's going so close for it to tap, she's still remaining, even during that stretch, when she's closing her legs, she's keeping tension all on the glutes and then exploding up on a concentric movement. So you can, as you can tell, there's constant tension throughout this entire movement. And then once we move on to the superset to the Bulgarians, you'll see the same thing. You'll see where I put my hand, and every time her shoulder taps my palm, she's going right back down. So she's not locking out, staying up. She's keeping the tension directly in her legs.
Whoa. Do this without a mirror too.
So every time she hits my palm, she's going right back down. So you can see she's going full range, but she's never losing tension of her legs. She's getting everything. She's getting glutes, she's getting hamstrings, even getting quads, the whole leg. 5. So let's go 2 more, non-stop tension, 9. And let's say she's fatiguing, so now you can lock it out on the last rep. Yeah. So now she can lock out, like she says she's failed on 10 reps. Now she paused, locked out for a couple seconds, and now she's gonna rep out body weight. 4. And 1. So only taking a break at the top when you need it. So on the second, like first, second, third, fourth, fifth rep, there's no need to pause at the top or lock the elbows out, and just, it's fine to lock out, but I'm saying locking out and pausing for a second, you're just taking tension off the tissue. Unnecessary until you're right about to hit that failure mark. Open. 1. 2. 5. The way she's opening up that band at the end, it's a very subtle, you can just see it. Yep. 9. 10. Get 5. And we'll go up to 135. 5. 4. 3. As you can see, when she opens the band, her legs stay open. So she's not opening up, and then when she stands up, her legs collapse. So that's key. You got to really keep an eye on form on this exercise. 1 more bit, and rack it. Good.
Fuck.
So slow. 5. Down. 3. 2. More bit. Rack.
Okay. Okay, so a question that Jen and I got in our QA video last week was, are long rest periods necessary for muscle growth?
Yeah, it depends on the exercise. So squats, deadlifts, things that require a lot of oxygen, like absolutely let your heart rate drop back down before you jump into the set. Like you want to get muscular failure, not cardiovascular failure, where you're just like out of breath and that's why you have to set the weight down. But like if you're doing like biceps, triceps, or glute kickbacks that don't require a lot of energy, like yeah, you can take 30 to 40.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah, well, kickbacks unilateral. Okay, but biceps, lateral raises, things like that, short rest periods are fine, but something like a heavy squat, definitely take your time. Everybody's different, like depending on how much cardio you're doing, what your resting heart rate is. Vic has got a lot of muscle, so it's going to take her a little longer. One, she's lifting heavier weight. Two, she's larger, like muscular wise, so she's going to take her a longer time to recover from a set than a 120-pound bikini athlete. She might be a little quicker recovery among sets. Letting your heart rate come back down and then going when you're ready.
Yeah. I think every individual is different, like your size, how much muscle you have, your condition. But also, there's a lot of going around the internet right now, like rest for a long period, and I think people who are well-intentioned are trying to get the right message, but they themselves are still not lifting intensely enough to earn the rest period.
Yeah, I agree.
Like if I wrote on your program 10 squats, 3-minute break in between, but you were really taking it to like a 5 RPE, you don't really need 3 minutes.
No, you don't.
I need 3 minutes right now, maybe 5. All right, guys, that's the end of today's workout. I'm exhausted, eating Rice Krispie treat right now. I'm gonna go home and have my post-workout meal, and I'll show you guys what that looks like. Okay, we are back making meal number 2, doing 160 grams of rice, 4.5 ounces of this is rotisserie shredded chicken. So I'm just gonna warm this up. I'm gonna throw some salt in there, and then I'm also gonna top it with a little bit of this marinara sauce just for some flavor. So that's going to be my post-workout. I am exhausted right now. I'm like, I want to take a nap, frankly. And it is just after 10 a.m. My intro workout was 70 grams of carbs. I drank some of the carbs and then I had that Rice Krispie treat. I actually had it at the end. I was supposed to have it before, but we got the carbs in anyway. And then this meal, I also get a piece of fruit with this one too, is going to be 30 grams of protein, 75 grams of carbs, and super, super low fat, like 3 grams of fat. So I'm going to pull this out a little bit early, and I'm just going to add, this is a half cup, and then this is 45 calories per serving, so nothing super significant. Old lady trick on how to pop these things open easily. We got some bananas back there that need to be eaten, so I'm probably gonna have a banana with this meal. So all in all, for my pre-workout, which was my breakfast, my post-workout, and my intro workout, I'm sitting at around, I'm already at 1,200 calories, and it's 10 a.m. And then I still have 3 meals after this. So we're gonna have a lot of food today, and I'm really happy about that. I'm gonna eat this. I just might take a nap after I eat this, and then I've got a lot of work this afternoon. So I'll see you guys at the next meal. Welcome back, you guys. I just finished my last consultation calls for today. I'm actually gonna talk a little bit about that right now, because one of the things that's really hard as a coach is for people to not see their potential or not have enough belief in what's possible. So many times I talk to women who want a transformation so badly and they can list all the reasons why they should do it, and they know that it's like the thing that's holding them back is that they keep trying to do it themselves or they keep trying to cut corners. And then when it's time to say, hey, are you ready to go? Like, are you ready to start? It's like, oh, I got to think about it. So I had a call like that today, and I just felt so sad for this woman because she's literally at a place where it's a crossroads, right? It's like you're not getting any younger. You see all the red flags. Now's the time to make a change, and you got to think about it. Let me tell you what the I got to think about it plan looks like. 9 out of 10 times when someone tells me they need to think about it after they've already done everything and decades have passed, I never hear from them again. I've had people who've reached out to me 3 or 4 years in a row and still have done nothing. So let me tell you right now, the I have to think about it plan is a plan to get nowhere fast. A book that I highly recommend if you're somebody who has a hard time making decisions is The 5-Second Rule by Mel Robbins. And the science that she talks about in that book is it only takes our brain, this is a studied thing, less than 5 seconds to talk ourselves out of something. So if something you know you ought to do for yourself and it feels kind of scary and uncomfortable at the time, it's probably a sign that you should do it. And do not let your brain talk you out of it, especially if you know it's something that's going to be really good for you. That is my pep talk for today. So in the middle of my calls, I didn't get to record this, but I did have my meal 3. I did this MegaFit meals. This is a frozen one. I had a defrosted one. I cooked it up. This is the signature meal. It's basically 40 grams of protein, 52 carbs, 5 fats. It's got some sauteed veggies in here. I don't use the sauce because the sauce isn't included in their macros. I put my own sauce on there so I can track it. But this was my meal 3. High carbs, you can see low fats. And then I also got another Rice Krispies. So that was meal 3. I'm on meal 4 right now, which is basically my dinner. 4 ounces of steak, and Brad cooked up some skirt steak. Girls, get yourself a man that can cook. I'm kidding, you can cook yourself too, but it's always nice to have someone cook for you. So we got some skirt steak here that we grilled fresh, and then I've got sweet potatoes that are just sort of leftover sweet potatoes, and I'm gonna do 200 grams of this stuff. It's gonna be 30 grams of protein, 40 grams of carbs, and then again, there's more fat in this, so this is about 14 grams of fats. So that's gonna be meal 4. I'm gonna prepare this and show that what it looks like. You'll probably notice that there's no veggies in this meal. I can have vegetables in this meal, but I am choosing not to because as we're getting later in the day, I'm actually full, and it's more important for me to get these 2 items in. So I'm kind of skipping out on the vegetables for this meal just so I can push more of this food through my system. And then I'm gonna wind down for the night, and I've got one more meal after this. All right, so we are at our last meal of the day. It is about 8 p.m. and I'm actually going to bed early tonight because I have an early morning tomorrow. So I'm gonna have this about an hour before bed. This is actually the vegan protein from Raw. I like this one, just something different from time to time. So I'm gonna do a scoop and a half of the vegan protein, 10 grams of glutamine, a cup of almond milk. I'm gonna mix up in my shaker, and that is gonna be my last meal of the day. It's basically no carbs, my only no carb meal of the day. 30 grams of protein, about 4 grams of fat. So low fat, high protein. I have been posting a lot lately on my Instagram about building, and now that I am in a build phase, I'll be talking a lot more on this channel about that. I see so many misconceptions with women when it comes to building muscle. I'm gonna do an entire video just addressing all the points that I have been talking about this month so far, the common mistakes that I see made with nutrition as well as training. It's a really important topic. I don't think enough people talk about it, and I think a lot of women are afraid of building. They're afraid of getting too bulky. They're afraid of getting in the gym and turning into a bodybuilder. And honestly, it's not that easy to build muscle. It really does take time. In fact, fat loss is something that's quite predictable. We can say as long as you are in a deficit From a calorie perspective, you will lose weight. If you're in a deficit and you're eating protein and lifting, you will lose body fat and retain muscle. So you've got to be focusing on those things. When it comes to building is less predictable because every body is different. Genetic makeup is different, your body type is different, your age, gender plays a role into it, hormonal changes, as well as, are you a proficient lifter? Are you eating in a surplus consistently? All of these things play a role, and as your weight goes up, a lot of women get scared of seeing the scale go up, even if it's just a couple pounds, and they cut their build too soon. They shorten it too soon. A huge mistake with that is the weight that's going up can be water, it can just be stuff in your digestive tract. We don't know how much you actually built in that time frame. The average woman will gain a half pound to a pound of muscle a month if they're lucky and they're doing everything right. So you need to give yourself ample time. If you start off lean enough, I think 6 months is a good time frame to start with. Could go longer, you certainly could go to a year, depending on a few factors, and just really get the most out of it. After the end of the build, when you go to cut, that is going to be telling of how much did you actually build. And you just really won't know until you go through that whole cycle. Building is a bit more predictable, which is why the precision with your training and the precision with your nutrition, what you are consuming, quality of nutrition matters. But again, I'm gonna do another video completely just answering a lot of common questions and misconceptions about that. We're gonna wrap this up. I'm gonna wind down, get to bed. I hope you guys like this video, and if you wanna see more on my building series, definitely comment below. Let me know if you have questions on building, anything that I can answer for you in terms of training or nutrition, what it takes for women who are 40s, 50s plus to be able to effectively build muscle and do it sustainably. So comment below, and if you guys like this video, please be sure to like, subscribe, and share, and we'll see you guys next time.